did he ask her to marry him, and why did she say yes?
It might be one of my favorite genres, which is spiteful engagement, to make the ex-girlfriend jealous.
I didn't even think
It's literally
of
one of my
that.
favorite genres of engagement, Krystyna.
Welcome to Guys We
Hey, fuckers, how you doing? Where you been? Who you doing it with? Welcome to another episode of Guys We Fucked.
It's the anti-slut shaming podcast. I'm Corinne Fisher.
I'm Krystyna Hutchinson.
Welcome.
Actually, you want to read this one?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So a reminder, if you want to send us an email, it is SorryAboutLastNightShow at gmail.com. And Salt Lake City, Utah, if you live there, please make sure to buy tickets to my show on September 26th. It's a Thursday at Wise Guys Comedy Club. One of my favorite comedy clubs.
Great
I'll be
club.
headlining. Chloe LeBranch, who just had an amazing showing on Kill Tony, will be featuring. It's the last of the Eye of the Tiger tour dates, so we're gonna put extra into it. All right, guys. Again, tickets at CorinneFisher.com or in the Linktree link in my bio on Instagram or any of the social medias at Philanthropy Gal. All right, this subject line says, "Should I be honest with my brother about his engagement?" Want to take a guess beforehand? I'm going to say no.
Probably no.
Probably no. But
We'll
let's
see.
see.
Let's see. That's the theme of the show
Let's
now.
go on this journey. Hi, Corinne and Krystyna. I'm a 22-year-old fucker. Now, definitely no.
Yeah.
From PA who has been listening since I was 13 or 14.
You're our daughter.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for the wisdom and entertainment over the years. I am finally writing in with a dilemma regarding my older brother, 25, not that much older, who is engaged to a girl 24. Ugh. He has been dating for a little less than 2 years. Double. Ugh. That's way too young for that little of time. You can do 2 years when you're like 40.
Yeah.
When he had told
Or in New York.
When he told me they were engaged after only about a year and a half, I was shocked because he had told me multiple times in the past couple of years that he doesn't think he ever wants to get married and that he doesn't know if it's going to work out with his now fiance. All right. Hope she's not listening.
Your brother already seems to know.
Yeah.
You don't got to tell him.
Yeah. I also was aware that he wasn't really over his girlfriend from college.
He's got to grow up.
Now I hope she is listening.
Yeah.
Since they got engaged in January, there have been a few incidents that made me ever more concerned. A few months ago, one of his best friends DM'd me on Instagram saying that my brother had texted him that his fiance hit him in the face. Oh, okay. Now we definitely need to talk about it.
Cute.
He wanted to know my brother's address so he could go over there, but he ended up not because my brother said it was under control. Okay. Then back in June, we all went to a wedding together where they both got pretty wasted, especially my brother who passed out as soon as we got back to the hotel.
Okay.
I ended up staying up with his fiance to smoke a blunt. And as you can guess, some secrets started to come out as we stayed up talking with him laying right next to her. To keep it, it sounds so healthy.
Yeah, this is some, you know what? This is so PA. God, this is why I got a wall with tattoo. This is a Pennsylvania love story.
Oh my God. To keep it short, she told me that he has been texting his girlfriend from college flirtatiously behind her back for 15 months of their relationship. That's almost the whole time.
Why did he ask her to marry him, and why did she say yes?
It might be one of my favorite genres, which is spiteful engagement, to make the ex-girlfriend jealous.
I didn't even think
It's literally
of
one of my
that.
favorite genres of engagement, Krystyna.
Oh, it's such
Nothing-
an expensive thing to do.
Listen, you think the most flattering thing is when someone proposes to you? No. The most flattering
you're
thing
right.
is when someone proposes to someone else
Yes.
to spite you.
Well, the real winner here is the ex-girlfriend.
Just make me come, why don't you? Grrr. Okay. Okay. So for 15 months of their relationship, even calling her pet names and things. At that point, that's literally for the majority of their relationship. He also had pictures of another girl's ass and was texting her.
Okay. Well, having a picture of another girl's ass, there's porn
fine.
everywhere. You can
But
get a picture of her asshole. You get a video going into her asshole.
Can't
and
text her.
texting her? No, that's not okay.
Draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell her that I would have dumped him, but I kept my mouth shut.
Yeah, this is her journey. It's her journey.
That a few weeks ago, she randomly texted me, "How do I get brother to tell me the truth?" I had no idea what to say, but about 2 minutes later, she called me. She told me that
he doesn't know she knows.
I guess not. Yeah.
Oh.
She told me that he had been texting a girl from his work behind her back. So he's just cheating right and left.
He's a mess.
Deleting messages and talking to her on the phone multiple times a week.
Oh, hell no.
I was honest and told her it sounded very shady, but that I didn't want to get involved in their business. Okay. So my problem is, should I talk to my brother about the whole situation, or should I stay out of it and let them go through it, and let him go through it himself?
Don't let okay. The wedding, if there's both dumb enough to still get married to each other, which is Pennsylvania, they might be. I would step in, and because I know you might be pissed at me now, bro. The thing is, though, I'm really close to my brother, so I can't imagine. One, I can't imagine my brother behaving like that, but two, I can't that's tricky.
I care about him very much, and I can tell by the look on his face when they talk about the whole thing that he is terrified. Obviously, both of them have their faults in the relationship, but it's also sad seeing both of them settle for somebody who does not treat them right. Yeah, also, the whole thing seems to, it's not even one-sided. Like, they're both not happy. They are not planning on actually marrying for another year or so anything could happen.
Not getting married.
And anything will happen with these two.
Yeah.
Life's never boring with this couple. But anything could happen, but I am afraid for that day to come, not to mention that whenever I go to their place, it's a disgusting pigsty. Well, that's their own choice though. Yeah. And I just overall feel like he could level up a little in his life.
Oh, just a little.
If he took some time to be single. I mean,
he's already acting like he's single.
Yeah. I mean, also,
your brother's a dumbass. He's engaged to somebody. If he actually plans on marrying her, weddings are expensive.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? And honestly, if someone's that fucking stupid, let them do it. You got to learn. But I don't know. Like I don't know how close you are. Like, how do you feel about your brother?
My brother has a good heart, but is not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
No shit.
I would appreciate your input very much. I know you guys stay out of other people's relationships, but I feel sort of guilty just ignoring it. Love you fuckers and go birds.
Go birds.
Well, I think the thing here is, I think
this is such a mess.
I think you can go from the feeling that you said, the look on that you said, I care about him very much, and I can tell by the look on his face when they talk about the whole thing that he is terrified.
So maybe he's hoping somebody else will say something.
I think take that as a starting point for the conversation. I don't think you should sit down and and air all the stuff that his fiance told you in privacy, in confidence.
What about the hitting thing?
I think, well, that was her hitting him. I mean,
right, I know.
I think start the conversation with you look terrified. Go take him out for dinner or drinks or whatever you guys do together. Don't get drunk, but maybe one drink to loosen up or something.
Go to Applebee's.
Yeah.
Half price apps after 9.
Take him out somewhere privately where you guys will be alone and can have a lengthy conversation together. And bring it up. You need to offer him a space that doesn't feel like he's, on the stand, where he can talk openly to you. Because I think exactly what Krystyna said. He's kind of maybe waiting for someone to be like, hey, you okay? And then I think the floodgates will open. But start with the thing that's like, hey, maybe like don't start as soon as you sit down with the menus at Applebee's, but just bring it up like, are you like really happy with so-and-so? It just like when you talk about it, the look on your face looks like more scared and like,
give him an out.
I'm your sister. I've known you your whole life. I love you so much. I just want to make sure you're happy. Don't come in with a ton of like this information that you kind of know unfairly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would open the gates and allow him to, don't push too hard. But like, I think without much, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but I
prodding
think I think he'll open up to you.
Like having your tone be super casual and like, hey, dude, let's go out for dinner. Like, I would love to, like, we never hang out. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
And the whole thing could be super casual. And you kind of allow him to set the tone of the conversation once he starts opening up, which I feel like he would.
It's also different because you're dealing with a man. A lot of times when women write in about like their girlfriends marrying some shitty guy, the way they're going to go about it is to sit the girlfriend down and be like, he's not good enough for you. And it's going to be like very abrasive. And that tactic is just never going to work.
Yeah.
But this is different. And because you are talking to him, this is actually a time when talking to a man is a positive, not a negative. And this happens so rarely. So I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. It's your family. It's your fucking brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brothers, I feel like, are one of the easiest people to talk to.
I love having a brother.
Yeah,
I
love having a brother too.
I love it so much.
Yeah,
and I'm very close with my brother.
Me
and
too.
I feel like if I like, and I could see like if my brother was doing all this shit, I'd be like, hey, you okay?
Oh, I always talk. I mean, I've also had very like open conversations with girlfriends of his where I'm like, don't take that from him.
Oh yeah. No, me too. Me too. Since I was a child, honestly.
Yeah. So I'm not always taking my brother's side. I'm not. I'm not that Italian.
No, me either. I mean, so everybody fucks up, but he's like on a demolition mission for himself, it feels. And I think that this new thing that's coming about in these recent years, I feel like that people are realizing, which is so exciting, is that you don't have to wait until you hit a rock bottom to do something. Yeah. You can actually reroute your course before you run into a burning building.
Yeah. And another thing I've noticed that men like to do, instead of actually doing the work to grow up, they like to do grown up things and they think that's going to make them grow up, like get married and have a baby.
That is the worst idea.
It's like they're cosplaying adulthood.
Yeah. Sounds
very weird.
Initially, like I can get why somebody would think that that's a good route, but you're not bringing the appropriate level of consciousness to your life because you're not actually interrogating yourself on, do I want to be doing these things? It's just, you're on the machine, baby. You're just like, this is what we're supposed to do. I'm on the merry-go-round. Just keep going. No, get off. Fuck it. I know you're probably surrounded by maniacs in Pennsylvania, but fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll just know what happens.
Hope that helps.
Go birds, huh?
Take
Guys.
him to the link.
Huh?
Take him to the link or the Rocky Steps.
No, that's too hack, Eric. Take him to a Wawa. Get him a hoagie. Wait for a hoagie. Get a hoagie. Get the Thanksgiving hoagie with the gobbler. No, do it now though. Do it now. Gobbler's so good. You wouldn't think that cranberry sauce and stuffing on a turkey sandwich would be good.
Those are the two best elements of Thanksgiving dinner: stuffing and cranberry sauce. I want that right now.
And then you put it on turkey with gravy on a piece of bread, and then you get gobbler season.
I love it.
Gotta get a Wawa. Also, guys, if you are in New York City Thursday, August 19th, that is the next hooch, and that it will be happening if you buy a ticket, okay? The August one didn't happen because we only had a certain amount of tickets sold. I was like, I guess everybody's on vacation. Then I get all these DMs from people, I was gonna come and buy a ticket. You gotta buy a ticket. The link for the ticket is in my bio on Instagram at Krystyna Hutch. So it's Thursday, September 19th, 7 p.m. at Zinc Bar, which is truly one of the most gorgeous venues. It almost feels wrong to do a dick joke in a venue so beautiful. It's a fucking 50-person room. It's one of my favorite places. So I really hope you come. We have a crazy lineup for you. Almost everybody you've seen and heard on Guys We Fucked. So I'm excited for that. And I have a solo podcast, The Voices in Our Heads. It comes out every Monday. We're going to be incorporating a very woo-woo element to it coming up. And I'm so excited about that, where we will be doing live call-in episodes with a psychic or a medium or a tarot card reader. And you will be able to get a reading for free. So follow me at Krystyna Hutch on my Instagram so you can stay up to date on all that stuff.
And if you are interested in politics, specifically American politics, but we do a little bit of international news as well, you're going to want to check out Without a Country. We live stream every Wednesday on YouTube now at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And you can call in the show live and you'll talk to me and we'll talk politics. And it's been great. People have been calling in every week. I think it's so, and it's I'm so excited to be doing this show during such an exciting time in American politics. Oh. So... please, if there's any time that you've chosen to be politically active, care about politics.
It's so exciting to be politically active right now.
Make it be now. And please, for the love of God, register to vote. Right?
Yeah, vote.org.
And I'm not saying like if you're going to vote for Kamala. My stance is truly who I think it's irresponsible not to vote. So, and I mean that for whoever you're intending on voting for. If you're going to write in Mickey Mouse, vote.
Yeah.
Everyone doesn't have that privilege. It's a real privilege. Every country doesn't have that privilege and every citizen doesn't have that privilege. So please use it.
Yeah. I watched Kamala's speech at the DNC and I was ugly crying because I know every politician says things and they don't do them. Some of them do. Tim Walz is a great example. Thank God. A white straight man who is good. Who when I started reading about him,
and he's in touch with his feminine side, which I love.
And he struggled, him and his wife struggled to have children, and they went through this journey that so many Americans go through in a fucking country that does not let us abort our babies. You sure don't want us fucking having babies when we want them. And that's very, very infuriating. I hear story after story of people, the amount of money people pay for IVF and the heartache that it causes. And I'm like, why the, whatever. I'm going off topic. But Kamala's speech, I have never seen a presidential candidate talk about, and she didn't, it's like, I want to hesitate to like put her on a pedestal because, you know, we set the bar so low for men, straight men sometimes in relationships that when they're like a little bit considerate, we're like, oh, hero, you here. And I don't want to do that with her.
Yeah. And she's a human being and she will make mistakes and she will let us down. And that's part of being a human being.
Yeah. I don't expect her to be perfect. You know, whenever I tell somebody I love Beyonce and they're like, you know, she was a bitch to my friends once. I don't give a fuck. It's Beyonce. She can be a bitch to you. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care.
My response would be, what did you do?
Yeah, exactly. You must have pissed her off. Okay. Well, I don't expect Beyonce to be sweet and cuddly to anybody that wants to fucking talk to her.
Right.
Anyway, I digress. What I was so excited about over Kamala's speech was the fact that she got into law because her friend was being sexually abused by her father.
That's a noble pursuit.
It is so noble. But I've also never heard a presidential candidate talk about a child being sexually abused by their parent. And it drives me crazy because sexual abuse, domestic violence, like.
Well, the DNC went hard on sex abuse because I mean, I don't know if you saw the
woman who was raped
by her dad.
Yes.
Or stepdad or whatever it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she was able to get the abortion. I was so happy.
They went hard. I go, good for you, DNC.
Go in because these ugly things happen to people. And because we don't talk about them the way that they deserve to be talked about is why the ugly things still happen. So I cried my fucking face off during her speech. I watched it live. I was so fucking excited that she talked about that. I mean, there's so many other issues and there's so many, you could critique her. Sure, I don't care. But I really cared that she mentioned that. And I've never been so excited about politics in my whole entire life. I feel a shift. There's a shift towards kindness. There's a shift in the type of masculinity that is being displayed now in politics. Tim Walz is a fucking, I want to kiss him on the mouth. I really
he wouldn't let you though because he's married. Krystyna.
Exactly, and that's amazing. That's beautiful.
And
I wouldn't kiss him on the mouth because I didn't have consent to.
Yeah, that's
but
beautiful.
The fact that he, like, I imagine my dad, like, is a conservative Republican, but like, I'm like, even somebody like my dad, even like the most conservative Fox News host, I feel like you'd be lying if you said you didn't like the guy. You know what I mean? Like, he appeals to everybody. Like, he's so.
Well, I think he's too, you know, I'm sure like a lot of the conservative Republicans are being like, he's like too pussy.
Of course, yeah, because that's the only thing you could find on him.
Yeah.
The only thing you could criticize him for is that, oh, his son cried, his neurodivergent son cried and stood up and said, "That's my dad," and they hugged each other. Like, the amount of people that like came through the war
no one's
commenting
looking good.
on him.
Yeah, for commenting on that. I'm like, it was a sweet moment.
Go fuck yourself.
And if you saw it any other way, you're like, something's wrong with you.
Yes. or you are so uncomfortable with anybody showing emotion that you immediately go to demonize them, and that's your problem. Have a great life.
I can't imagine like my dad making a speech like that, or like being in the running for vice president of the country and me not crying. How exciting!
Oh my God, I'd be so proud of him.
Yeah,
so proud of him.
Same.
And the fact that like he said, like, he actually made the lives of people in his state better, and everybody that in his state like is obsessed with him because he actually did stuff. It's so exciting. It's because America is such a fucking fucked up country in a lot of ways. It's a great country in a lot of ways.
We're new.
We're like a little teenager.
We're a baby.
But so it's really exciting to see this new thing come into play, and how she stood up to sexual abusers. I'm like, I've never felt good about, the only president I was like, fuck yeah, it was Barack Obama. But then I would never feel like proud to be an American and go overseas. Like, I've never felt that. I've always felt almost kind of embarrassed, especially after Trump. But if Kamala won, like, woo, I would be so proud to be an American. I would be so proud. And I also wanted to talk about something that's really upsetting to me that I can't share a lot of details on now because of legal issues, but I will be, and hopefully this person in my life that I love very much and have loved for a very long time, who's very close to me, a woman in my life, a friend of mine. She is going through something that we have talked about on the show for the last 10 years. I've never... the closest I had to somebody who experienced sexual domestic violence, financial abuse, emotional abuse, deep, deep psychological abuse. I've always heard about these stories, but I've never really been close to somebody who's had this experience. And when I tell you, one of my very dear friends, we went out to dinner, and she told our group of friends everything that was happening with her. And I cannot wait till the day where we can legally talk about it on this show, because I get just so horny for destroying a terrible man's reputation who only cares about his reputation.
Hear, hear.
I can't wait to destroy you. I will fucking destroy you, okay? I'm very excited for that day, and it's going to be great. But for now, she has gone through one of the worst experiences that I've seen in terms of domestic abuse with a partner. And it reminded me a lot of Mark Harley when we did that episode. I learned about Mark Harley as you were telling me about him on that episode. And I've heard so many stories of all of these things happening. And I've worked at, I've gotten trained to help domestic violence. When I did that training program at Bellevue for people who have been raped or domestic violence, I was honestly most nervous to work with the people that have had domestic violence, because there were so many more protocols. You had to get a picture of the person, that like their partner, so that you had to alert the hospital staff, we can't allow this person in here. But then sometimes they do want to come, and that partner that just got the shit kicked out of them wants them to be there, and you have to allow. Domestic violence is one of those things where I'm like, I don't know how to deal with this issue. I don't have any experience with this issue. And I don't know. I'm more comfortable talking about rape. I don't know why.
Well, because also I think domestic violence, like the variable is you're dealing with still the existence of love, or what the people perceive to be love.
Right.
And so parts of it are completely illogical.
Yes, totally. And so I have a dear friend that I started a GoFundMe for. And there is a link. I'm going to put the link to the GoFundMe in the description of this podcast. It's also going to be on my Instagram at Krystyna Hutch. I'm raising money for her. She is being financially abused and emotionally abused and psychologically. The things that he's done to her psychologically, it's tough. That's a real, though, talk about it's like the AK-57, but a mental tactic. Like it's crazy. So I'm raising money for her because she is trying to. She's in a lot of court cases right now against this person, and I'm learning a lot about the laws. And I can't mention locations or anything. You will all know exactly what happened. Maybe a year down the road, who knows? But
it's a real cliffhanger.
Yeah. But the other thing is, this person works with women and children
Of course.
a living. And that, and I can't say the things that he does when he works with women, but I cannot wait to tell you. I cannot wait to tell you. I cannot wait to give you the phone number of his business, that he is a fucking mayor in his little town. I cannot wait. And another thing too, when I was in that training for Bellevue, we had people come in that had a victim advocate and talked about their experience and how much it was helpful to them, and what wasn't helpful to them with their experience. And so, but we watched a lot of videos, and one of them was this woman. She was a fucking CEO of a company. Immediately her energy, I was like, that's a boss bitch. Damn. Yeah. She had a great childhood. She'd never been in an abusive relationship before. She found herself marrying a man that beat the absolute living shit out of her. And I was so like, what the fuck? Like the psychology of domestic violence is so deep. And my friend is a very powerful woman. That's why I say that. Like it's just like, you really never, every time I hear about these cases, I'm like, wow, it's not, anybody can fall into this trap. It's crazy. And the other thing is, she's pregnant. And she's keeping the child, and I'm very excited for her. She's very excited. She's kind of looking at this as like, she's obviously part of the legal battle that she's currently fighting is, you won't have access to me or the child ever. And she has evidence and all this stuff. But if you have any money, if you have a fucking dollar, if you have 50, I don't know if you're allowed to donate 50 cents on GoFundMe, but if you can, awesome. Obviously, if you're broke, it's a tough economy. I totally get it. But if you have the funds, please go to the link in my bio or the link in the description of this episode you're listening to right now and donate because she has an uphill battle ahead of her. It's going to be a long battle. And my group of gals were like, we got you. We're giving, you give the person's space to talk about it, but then you go, hey, let's like, watch a 90s movie. You know what I mean? Like it has to be like this balance of like handling your shit. And I'm witnessing her handle it in such a beautiful way. And I told her, I'm like, your first act as a mother by getting away, already you're a great mom. Like you're going to be such a good mom. And it's cool to like, another part of it is like, oh my God, watching a friend that you've known for so long. And you're like, wow, you get to witness her become a mother. Unfortunately, the circumstances are not ideal. But if you have it in your bank account, please go to the link in my bio and donate money. And I'm like I said, I'm super excited to eventually, if she wants to come on and talk about it, I would love that. But we have to wait for all the legal stuff because this is a person with a hot-headed temper who has been extremely abusive, knowing she was with child. So the things that she's told me that he's said to her and that he's done to her, it's awful. So yeah, now I'm mad. But yeah, please donate if you can. It's a terrible thing to have to go through, and yeah. You just want to kill the person. I don't know how you deal with it. Like you talk about domestic violence on your show. I don't know how, like, has it affected somebody you've loved?
No, I don't think domestic violence. No, but I mean, I also I don't have, unfortunately, very many female friends anymore who I'm close enough to know that because of being the fucking comedian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so. Yeah, no, my best friend isn't being abused. So that's basically after that, right. I don't have anyone that I would be close, like that I would even be privy to that information, I think. So it's mostly just like, listeners. I've certainly gotten horrific emails from listeners on the internet and reading, but I mean, that's why I do it. I mean, I read story after story on Without a Country every week to be like, oh, I mean, if you're alive and living in a state, like a woman's been murdered by her partner.
And this person
that month,
this person is absolutely capable of murder. There's no doubt in my. I mean, it's sexual abuse. It's all of the abuse categories, including financial abuse. And I'm like,
right.
I know we've said before on the show, like with pedophiles, like don't kill all pedophiles. No, because you're going to deter.
Sure.
But this type of motherfucker, you're only making everything worse for you, for everybody who comes in contact with you. You are manipulative piece of garbage that I truly like have to fight because I always try to challenge myself to find compassion for people. That is tricky. Zero compassion for this person. In fact, I really
you don't need to have compassion for everybody.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I mean I couldn't if I tried, but and I have no interest in trying anyway. But yeah, I've never met someone that I'm like, wow, die, just wow. The amount of damage that you leave in your wake with everybody you encounter from these stories that I've heard and the pictures that I've seen is just, it's really bad. So,
well, and also as I mentioned, when you told me this, I was like, yeah, unfortunately a statistic that a lot of people don't know is when you become pregnant, the likelihood of being abused in a domestic situation actually goes up when you think it would go down.
Yeah.
It goes up. Because
awful.
The partner knows you're less likely to leave if you're pregnant with their child.
I feel like people that get off on making vulnerable people scared of them, which is clearly one of the things that's happening here.
Right.
I don't know. Can that be fixed? Like, I don't know if it can.
I think everything can be fixed, but I think someone who's doing this is probably very unlikely to put in the work that it would take to fix aforementioned behavior.
Right. Yeah. This person is not, yeah. I would think would be a lost cause.
Yeah.
Lost cause. But my friend isn't. And I'm really proud of her for getting the fuck out of there.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of people do. And they wait until they die. And, then you got to just wait for the next life. But, yeah. Donate if you can. Did you have anything you wanted to share?
No, I left the floor to you today because I knew this was coming. So I feel like anything else that I would say about my weekend would probably not be as important.
Okay, well, I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you. I did. I had a great weekend.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. You know who else is great?
Today's guest.
Oh my God, I loved her.
Yeah, oh God, this was such a fun conversation. And this is an instance where this is someone we only knew from online and we had talked online, but we never met in real life. So the conversation you say is literally the first conversation we're ever having with this person.
Yeah, and she was great. We had great chemistry. I could have another one that I could have talked to for fucking hours.
Yeah, I really love this episode.
She's a stand-up comedian. She's gained huge internet fame through her comedy and her absolutely uncanny resemblance to Jim Carrey. And when I tell you, make sure you look at our pages for the clips if you're listening to this, or watch our episode. Our full episodes are available on YouTube. I had to go, you're not talking to Jim Carrey, Krystyna. Stop. You're not talking.
Krystyna was starstruck.
It was wild. It was wild. Listen to our podcast. Heather Shaw is kidding. And please welcome to the show, Heather Shaw.